Today I'm going to work on some embellishments for my 2017 composite art journal. This was the page that I made for the March prompt at the My Year 2017 Facebook group. And what I have here are some little mini accordion style journals. Because I want to show you the issue that I have with this and on several of my other pages. Is when I turn the page, these little mini journals tend to flip open. And that's just because they're mini journals and there's no closure on them. And I've had this issue on other things. These are my doodles that I did in January. Poet Spice here on YouTube does a January doodle challenge. And these are just little cards. Now, I have these closed with paper clips. But I'm finding that paper clips are not a good answer for me, because on some of these pages, they aren't strong enough to hold all the papers closed. Here's a good example. See, it just not quite long enough. And I'm finding that the bobby pins that I'm using reach in just a teeny bit more. Now, I have embellished paper clips. I did these for the 2016 holiday art journal that I did. And this is not a new concept here. Embellished paper clips are quite commonly done among the different artists here on YouTube. And it's not my new idea. However, I'm starting to use these bobby pins. I found these bobby pins just laying around, a little case of them. I did check at my local store, and they do still sell these longer bobby pins. I haven't used bobby pins in my hair since, what, 6th grade? They do still sell them, so I know that they're available on the market. You might have to look around a little. I would think that the big box stores would have them. So what I'm going to do, in the vein of embellish paper clips, I'm going to embellish my bobby pins. Let me move this. And I've gone through my stash and I've looked for little scrappy papers that I may want to attach to the bobby pin just to embellish it. I have a whole sack of little paper scraps that I've been saving. Things like this. This is just part of a paper sack that I'd smeared gold paint on, and this is just a scrap from it. I am using Aleene's super thick tacky glue to attach my little embellishment onto the bobby pin. I'm going to show you here what I'm doing to embellish these so that you understand. I may just do a couple and then turn off the video, go finish them all, and then come back and show you what I've done. And I tear my papers. I want kind of a rough, distressed look. I have a lot of scrappy papers here to use. This is just that little gold painted paper sack. And I put the glue on the back of the embellishment, just in a line, just like this. Just like this. I do not put the glue on the bobby pin because I don't want to glue the bobby pin shut. That wouldn't be a good thing. And then I just put it on the paper, just place it flat down on the paper, lift up the paper. Now, while this is still wet, I'm using my ruler here. You could use anything that you have handy. And I'm putting the bobby pin on it like this. And that will also keep the two sides of the bobby pin separated while the glue is drying, so it doesn't glue the bobby pin to itself. So I'm going to go ahead and finish all the bobby pins that I want to do here. And when I'm finished, I'll come back and show you the results. My bobby pin embellishments have all the scrappy papers on them. I put them on strips here so that the glue would dry without gluing the shanks of the bobby pin together. But now what I'm going to do is embellish the embellishments. I save all these little bits and pieces, especially from needlework. This has to be 5 or 6 years old. Just scrap threads, little bits of ribbon. I can see some little bling in there. And I have another package here. I can see I have some lacy ribbon in here. I have some denim scraps. So what I'm going to do next is embellish the embellishments. I've embellished the embellishments on the bobby pins. I have them on the back of a ruler and the back of a strip of paper while the glue is drying. But look at these. These are just scraps of paper that were glued to the longer shank of a bobby pin. And then I just have little bits and bops that I've saved through the years that I just didn't want to throw away. Look at this. Aren't these fun? This is a beaded piece that I had in a jar of broken jewelry. The most I spent on this were these little pearl embellishments. 97 cents at Walmart. The little strings that may come to you in Happy Mail. Little trims. This was a Happy Mail piece and I broke it into parts. Little sunflowers. Here I was playing with my fine line applicator on a label. This was an envelope. This was a piece of mail. I put a button on it. Somebody had sent me a Happy Mail with a stamped ticket. This was a trim off of a calendar page that I was using, I believe, in my glue book or some piece of art I was doing, and I saved that little scrap of trim right here. This is the back of one of Tim Holt's Found Relatives photos. I split the paper and I didn't want to throw away the design on the back, but I cut out the piece here, and this was just a scrap piece. And I liked that little design there, so I saved it. This was a scrap of a piece of painted paper that Cindy Seinzetter had put in the round robin box, and I used the painted paper on a art journal page, and this was the scrap that was left. Perfect. This, believe it or not, I had done some art journaling, and I trimmed the border of my page. The art journal went over the border of the page, so I trimmed it off, and this was a piece that I trimmed off of the border of the page. And these little tiny pieces here, look at those little stitches. One time, it's got to be 6 years ago, I was experimenting with putting these star stitches on paper. And I think I actually did. And I think this was done with my sewing machine. I think this is a sewing machine stitch. I'd stitched down and then I'd used it for something or other. These were little scraps that were left. Don't ask me what these little beads came off of. I found them. Probably broken jewelry. I found several of them. I have put them on pieces right here. Isn't that fun? This is leftover thread. Made me a little tassel out of it. A poker chip. Piece of lace. Some red ribbon. So what fun. So now I'm going to go ahead and put these back on my pages, and I'll show you how they look on the pages. Here are my finished pages. The finished embellishments. My little accordion journals do not flop open. Now I will say, when I made these, I knew I was going to have to do closure, but I did not plan on these. And when you do something like this, leave room on the bottom to attach your embellishment, your bobby pin, if you're doing in a bobby pin or paper clip. These were pretty much glued down to the back. I had to work a little open spot on each one to get them open. But they will come off. And you can look at all the little more embellishments inside. And put them right back on again, and that will hold it closed. Here's one with my sketches. The page flips a little here. I could put another one here, but I haven't yet. This is another one that's the rabbit. Now the other thing you could do is embellish both sides. You will not want to do that on every one, because if you embellished both sides on something like this, you would have trouble putting it inside. If you embellish something that you can put at the top of a page or the side of the page, and you would want these to show on both sides, you could embellish both sides. So there's two ways. I did not embellish both sides because, well, I just discovered that. But I'm really happy with how they close. The bobby pins are, especially these larger ones, these are the larger bobby pins, but they're just a little bit longer than the largest paper clips. I mean, you can get huge paper clips. This one, I put one on these ATCs because this ATC just wants to fall out. So here's my bobby pin there. And I have one on the other side, and here it is where it's not embellished. But on the other side, I'm holding my sketches, my waterfall sketches, closed. This was a travel journal page that I did for the Jagos prompt. And these are airline tickets. Now I do still have the paper clip here. I could embellish that paper clip, but I didn't. It's just holding the ticket information closed. And here on my inspiration pages, I'm clipping when I have them where I got the inspiration. Like this rabbit was inspired by this little picture of a pillow. Rabbit on a pillow I cut out of a magazine. And of course the painty papers from Cindy. And this one is on the opposite side of this embellished bobby pin. Here again, this is an example where you could embellish both sides of the bobby pin. But this was a found relatives photo pack, Tim Holtz. And it inspired this page. This page was a page that I did when Jelly Belly had her 2017 February birthday bash. And I wanted to keep the different steps that you went through. Either a 5 or 9 minute page. I can't remember which. I don't do good on really fast pages, but it is what it is. And then here are the doodle sketches that I did for Poet Spice's January 2017 Doodle Challenge. And it is holding, I could really put another one. Let's put one here. Let's take this ticket one. Just take it off and put it right here. Clip it closed, just like that. And that keeps those pages, when it's in your journal, keeps these from flipping over if you do a waterfall style of putting smaller pages in or tags or anything like that. Same way with these. So I'm really happy with how this project turned out. I'm really happy with how these bobby pins are holding my pages closed. That's exactly what I wanted. And I'll probably be doing more of this thing throughout the year. I would say go to the store and buy you some large bobby pins. The beauty industry is going to wonder if who's putting their hair up with bobby pins. Is this another trend? These are what I have to use. And it's freed up some paper clips. Don't throw away your scraps and your bits and your bops. Look for broken jewelry. Look for things at garage sales that could be used like this. It's really fun. This is kind of a takeoff on embellishing paper clips, but I really haven't seen anybody embellish bobby pins yet, but I really like them because they're longer. Yay! I will see you on the next page.